Chapter 269. Crushing the Vacuum. However, they didn't have time to consider anything else at this moment, as Little Gold's huge body had already rushed in, and he swung both his fists in a direct fighting fist of victory. Immediately, the sky trembled, the earth trembled, and an unrivaled might enveloped the entire space. Boom, boom, boom. More than 50 invincible powerhouses who had surrounded Little Jin died 3 times and injured 7 in an instant. Little Jin's might was unparalleled. His body's chi and blood boiled as his battle power exploded to the extreme under his berserking. Although there were still injuries that hadn't fully recovered, it didn't stop him from going on a killing spree. After all, Little Gold had a strength close to that of the third prince of the dragon, and was definitely considered a supreme in the spirit sealing space. If he hadn't been injured, these 50 or so invincible powerhouses wouldn't have been able to threaten him at all. And even now, he still had the upper hand, and those people didn't dare to approach the area, town his body. Kill, together, kill him. Chang Kongji's face was first filled with shock, and finally a sinister look appeared in his eyes as he shouted loudly, encouraging the people around him to surround Xiaojin together. Loser, who can save you this time? Even in the midst of the fierce battle, Xiaojin's ears were still listening to all directions, and when he saw Chang Kongji's figure, he instantly revealed a morose, murderous aura, and his fist came blasting out. Those surrounding invincible powerhouses that were besieging him were unable to block them at all, as all those who dared to block Xiaojin were killed by him, and those people could only attack Xiaojin from afar. Feeling Xiaojin's gaze that contained a murderous aura, as well as that terrifying fist power, Chang Kongji roared and tried to resist. However, he was immediately filled with despair as he was blasted into bloody flesh by a huge golden fist. Chang Kongji, Wu Feng shouted. His face was filled with disbelief. The strength revealed by Little Jin was too strong. He could completely fight with Demon Heaven and the third prince of the dragon and them. This was another supreme level powerhouse. Everyone joined together in a joint attack. Devil Feng was also very shocked, but he immediately united the crowd to attack Little Jin, and Windless on the side also reacted and participated in the joint attack. Boom! The destructive strike that gathered the strength of all the people was like a shocking wave that rushed towards Little Gold. Battle Heaven and Battle Earth. Little Gold's gaze blazed. His huge body erupted with 10,000 feet of golden light. His 2 fists swung out like a dragon coming out of the sea, and the entire heaven and earth trembled. Rumble, the third style of the fighting fist, erupted with unrivaled power, killing a dozen invincible powerhouses on the spot. But Little Gold was also blown out by the combined strike of the crowd, spraying out several mouthfuls of blood. Too strong. Definitely a supreme level powerhouse. This is the 5th supreme, the spirit sealing space. Third Prince Dragon actually has 4 supreme friends. If Kang Chon wasn't not here, Demon Heaven would have to be defeated even if he possessed the heavenly demon body. Not far away, the invincible powerhouses who witnessed this battle were all stunned one by one. Outside the Power God Hall, everyone was shocked as Little Gold's strength shook them. This was definitely the 5th supreme being of the spirit sealing space. Go together. He's spitting blood and is seriously injured. A few more combined attacks and he'll die for sure, Windless shouted coldly. The remaining 30 invincible powerhouses, despite some fear, were forced to prepare for a joint strike once again at this moment, as they understood that they had already offended Xiaojin if they didn't take advantage of the situation to kill him now. Each and every one of them would die in the future at Xiaojin's hands. Many people had already regretted in their hearts. They obviously came to seize the treasure. Where did they think that they would be fighting with a supreme being? If they had known that, they would have preferred to give up seizing the treasure and would not have come to this endless sea of fire. But at this moment, they already had no chance to regret. They could only grit their teeth and fight for their lives. Kill. I don't believe he can resist a few times. The remaining 30 invincible powerhouses all roared and rushed towards Xiaojin. Terrifying power swept out from their bodies and gathered into a torrent, running towards Xiaojin. Rumble, the sky trembled, the earth cracked, and this time, Xiaojin once again killed several people and heavily injured a dozen, while the others also suffered minor injuries. However, Little Gold himself also suffered heavy injuries. His body flew out backwards, blood spurting wildly. After all, his injuries were too heavy. Just now he fought hard against 50 invincible powerhouses. He was already at the end of his strength, and at this moment, he was even more injured. However, Little Jin was still charged with battle intent as he roared, "Godly battle unrivaled." His body rushed towards the crowd once again as he swung up a pair of blood-stained fists, his aura rising like crazy. Immediately, several more people were blasted to death, leaving only 20 of the enemies that had surrounded Xiaojin. Everyone was retreating. They were all emboldened by the kills. Windlass grimaced, his eyes trembling, his heart turned upside down. The 7 heroes of Heavenly City had been killed by another person. Together with him, there were only 4 people left now. Kill. He's already at the end of his strength. One more strike, and he will die for sure. Devil Peak droned. He was also badly injured. As the words fell, no one rushed up. The remaining people were all scared of being killed. How would they dare to fight again? Ha ha ha, come on. Today Monkey Master will send you all to hell. Looking at the crowd that retreated step by step, Xiaojin's aura became even more powerful. He laughed loudly, and a crazy killing intent shot out from his eyes. The crowd in the distance retreated, not daring to fight again. Seeing this, Windlass and Devil Peak could only retreat helplessly. Even though Little Jin was already heavily injured, just by going up with the few of them was simply looking for death. Everyone was horrified and shocked by Little Jin's strength. Xiaojin laughed out loud and took huge steps, stepping into the air step by step, chasing after the crowd to kill them. His might was unrivaled, his battle intent surging to the heavens as he swept through the 8 wastelands. Boom! Just at this moment, a black magic knife ******* came and killed Xiaojin. The devil blade was black in color, with a devilish aura lingering on it, emanating a fierce killing aura. One fist battle heaven. Xiaojin sensed the killing opportunity, and his eyes immediately exploded with light as he struck out the first style of the fighting fist. However, the demon blade was even more powerful, and with a single slash, it cleaved away from Little Gold. The crowd watching the battle was shocked. This was Devil Heaven's Devil Blade. He used his god to defend the blade, suppressing Xiaojin's might and saving Devil Peak and the others. Devil Heaven, you are too arrogant. Dragon Battle Starfield. The roar of the 3rd Prince of the Dragon came from the sky, feeling very angry at the fact that Devil Heaven was still distracted from suppressing Little Gold while resisting his and Brahma Heart's attacks. On the other side, Brahma Heart also couldn't help but rise up in anger. All his 8 arms executed heavenly Buddha palms. Instantly, 8 amazingly huge palms blasted towards Devil Sky. The surrounding emptiness distorted under the 8 palms, and the blazing Buddha light erupted. Heavenly Demon Fist. Facing the joint attack of the 3rd Prince of the Dragon and Brahma Heart, Devil Heaven's expression was cold and indifferent, not the least bit fearful as he unfolded the Heavenly Devil 7 transformations, transforming into 7 silhouettes and counter-attacking towards the 2 men in a siege. At the same time, Devil Heaven even unleashed the Devil Sect's greatest art, the Heavenly Devil Fist, which was a powerful divine ability, and was specially suited for cultivators of the body refining lineage to cultivate, and in his hands, it exerted an unrivaled power. What terrifying strength! Is this the talent of the Heavenly Demon body? The 3rd Prince of the Dragon was surrounded by 4 Devil Heavens, and in the end, he was unable to defeat them and flew out backwards, spewing out several mouthfuls of blood in mid-air, his face grim. Brahma Heart was similarly shaken and flew out, His face was grave as he looked somewhat worriedly at little Gold, who was being suppressed by the demonic blade not far away. Devil Heaven used God to control the sword, making the magic sword can attack on its own. And the power is very strong, not much weaker than personally, making the heavily injured little Gold not be able to defeat at all, and was slashed more than 10 times, blood stained all over his body. Devil Heaven not only reached 10% of the realm of the will, but also comprehended the will, using the God to control the sword, the will to go out of the body. This is a divine ability that can only be possessed by the out of body stage. I didn't expect that he was at the Jeden stage and had reached this level, worthy of being the legendary heavenly demon body. Brahma's heart was incomparably shocked, and his heart was very worried. He and the third prince of the dragon were unable to defeat Devil Heaven even when they joined forces. And at this moment, little Gold was also in a crisis. Could this be that the three of them were all going to die here today? Dow brother, it would be good if you were here. Although I don't know what the special bloodline you possess is, I know that it's definitely no worse than the heavenly devil's body. Brahma heart sighed. Unfortunately, his sigh was not destined to be heard by Kangchon, because at this moment, Kangchon's consciousness had already fallen into chaos, and even his soul was slowly starting to shatter. When Kangchon's corpse in the Force God Hall underwent a mutation, a purple figure slowly appeared in that vast ocean of consciousness. It was a middle-aged man with purple hair. His eyes were translucent, with a blazing light like the blazing sun, causing the entire ocean of consciousness to be eclipsed, and that magnificent figure exuded a domineering aura that was unrivaled in the world. Soul gathering. The purple-haired middle-aged man suddenly pointed at the void, and suddenly the light was dazzling. The fluctuation of laws quickly filled the entire space, and the remnant souls of the shadows that had originally begun to dissipate actually quickly coalesced in the void. Kangchon hegemony blood. How should I address you? The remnants of the soul condensed, and the shadow was not imaginary, revealing the real face of the power god. He had black hair and thick eyebrows, and his eyes were like electricity, radiating a vast might that was not weaker at all than the purple-haired middle-aged man opposite him. Hegemon. The purple-haired middle-aged man's eyes blazed as he gazed at the Force god, suddenly kneeling down on one knee and actually giving a noble salute. Force god frowned and wanted to avoid it, but he saw the purple-haired middle-aged man's lips move and a passage of words came out. Ha 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 ha. Good one to raise a soul with a soul. Such great divine ability. How can I not fulfill you? The god of power laughed loudly after hearing this. A smile of relief appeared on his face, and his eyes were even filled with the light of hope. The purple-haired middle-aged man was filled with shame as he once again bowed towards the god of power. No need to salute, my residual soul should have died out long ago. Can for the great cause again to do a tiny bit of strength. Death also have no regrets. Ha ha ha. Force god reveals a sprightly smile, his divine thought instantly burning his residual soul. Endless soul fire rises up to the sky, covering his entire body. The laughter swirled, but it was a kind of relief, a kind of support, and a kind of hope. Do it. The last voice of the god of power came out. The purple-haired middle-aged man once again bowed respectfully, then grabbed the Force god's burning remnant soul with one hand, and the other grabbed Kangchon's soul fragments that had crumbled into several pieces, fusing them together. Kinch! With a low cry, Kangchon's soul fragments quickly assembled, while the remnant soul was acting like a pile of fertilizer in a way that was unfathomable to normal people, warming up Kangchon's soul, causing the quality of his soul to rapidly increase by hundreds of times. In the dark, Kangchon felt as if he had entered his mother's embrace, a comfortable feeling like a newborn. He didn't know that this was a feeling derived from the rapid metamorphosis of his soul. This was an evolution of life that would be of unimaginable help to Kangchon's future. After an unknown amount of time, the ocean of consciousness returned to calm, and all the consciousness storms disappeared. The purple-haired middle-aged man also disappeared, as did the remnant soul of the Force God, leaving only Kang Chon's consciousness to slowly awaken. Swish! At the instant that Kang Chon's consciousness awakened, in the middle of the Force God's hall, Kang Chon opened his eyes, and to purple lightning bolts instantly ****** came out, and an unrivaled hegemonic aura erupted from him. Has the inheritance ended? Looks like I've succeeded. Kang Chon stood up, his eyes flashing with essence. He punched out. The space around him shattered. The powerful force caused the dark golden palace to tremble a few times, shattering the vacuum. The fourth layer of the 9 revolutions Zhuanggong. I finally practiced it. Feeling the powerful strength contained in his flesh, Kang Chon's eyes glowed with excitement. He had finally broken through to the 4th layer of the 9 revolutions Zhuanggong. His flesh had reached the level of a treasure weapon.